That night, as the last parishioner was leaving, some of the brothers and priests were preparing dinner while others were closing up the monastery. Anton turned on the rec room television while he fumbled through a box of napkins. Televisions weren't normally allowed in monasteries in the past, but now they were used for watching sports or keeping up with the news. Anton didn't like television much these days, a complete 180 from his attitude towards TV in his youth. The evening correspondent came on. Esperanza Dominguez was reporting on the shooting outside of a nightclub. A single victim was shot twice in the chest. No assailant had been caught. Homicide and murder were heartbreaking subjects for Anton. Tonight he would pray for the dearly departed soul of another one of God's children. The victim's photo appeared on screen. The picture was of Jimmy. Anton's heart sank into his stomach. The screen went from a photo of Jimmy to the scene of the crime where police were keeping the public out. Then over a picture of the nightclub's entrance. Just a few hours ago, the man was alive. His life only beginning. Jimmy had all the time in the world to achieve his goals, fall in love, and pass away at a ripe old age. But not anymore. And what's worse, he never had a chance to confess his sins. Helpless and completely shocked, Anton managed to break his trance long enough to remember the note he had in his pocket. Now more wrinkled than when it had been originally, it nevertheless could have held the key to solving the murder. He read the letter, but was met with discouragement. All it said was, "Greta has been naughty. Perhaps Hansel will be much kinder." Surely this could not be the missing puzzle piece. For the rest of the night, Anton remained silent. Silence was a common practice in monastery lives, so none of his brothers noticed. Autumn was starting. The leaves were now all brown, but only a select few actually started to fall. Darkness came faster than it normally did that night, and the surrounding clouds signaled an impending storm. Every brother had just fallen asleep, while every priest had long since gone to bed. All the monks were slumbering early, all, that is, except Anton. He tried to pray to God to calm his sorrows. He tried asking Mother Mary for her intercession, but his heart could not bear the idea of letting Jimmy die in vain, and neither could his head. Anton knew what he had to do. He had to catch the culprit behind this heinous crime. He would need the car to travel down the mountain. He would need to go back to the place where Jimmy was killed, and he would need to do it before sunrise. The next day would be Sunday, the most revered day for any Catholic Christian, and his absence in the pews would be noticed. He slowly made his way down the hallway. The curfew was in effect and all the lights were shut off. Anton would have to do with the candle spread out along the walls and windows. He tried to control his breathing, but his inhaling was too shallow and Anton became lightheaded. He stopped for a moment and allowed the world to stop spinning, then continued. Just before exiting, he grabbed the keys off the hook near the door. The rain was falling harder now, so Anton pulled his hood over his head and adjusted the rest of his black robe. He got into the car, but before turning the ignition, he suddenly realized he didn't know where he was going. What was the name of the club again? Anton thought. Trying to remember the photo of the nightclub. Its name in green neon colors. Then it hit him like a brick. The club's name was Greta. Greta. Greta had been naughty indeed. Anton started the car and drove into the night. Windshield wipers moved back and forth, clearing the heavy rain from the window. This was a mistake that could lead to his expulsion from the order. Disobeying your superiors was surely a sinful act. But like every brother or priest before him, he was neither a complete sinner nor entirely a saint. He would be in a life of intense prayer and meditation, asking God for guidance and peace on earth, although knowing full well either was not easily attained. World peace would have to wait. Tonight, Anton would settle for guidance. End of chapter 1.